What is the difference between guardare and vedere? You've probably wondered, when should I use each one? Are they interchangeable? Is one more used than the other? Is there an equivalent in English for each one? Well, you've come to the right place because I'm here to answer all of your questions about these two super common and powerful Italian verbs. In this video lesson, I'll show you the difference between guardare and vedere and in which context they're used and how not to confuse them. Iniziamo! Ciao, my name is Michelle, my dad is Italian, and I'm named after my nonno, and I learned Italian as an adult, just like you. My passion and goal is to help others like you to learn Italian as well, through the power of my unique 80-20 method and online self-paced language courses. So what is the difference between guardare and vedere? Well, if you're looking for the short answer, vedere means to see, while guardare means to look at or to watch. But let's go into more detail. The verb vedere, a verb of perception. Vedere means to perceive with the eyes. It is related to the perception of the external world through la vista, sight. We could say that the Italian verb vedere is the equivalent of the English to see, indicating an involuntary, unintentional action. Since it indicates an involuntary act of seeing something, it is sometimes accompanied by expressions like
per caso,
by chance, or
di sfuggita.
Briefly. For example,
Ho visto Paolo per caso, di sfuggita al supermercato ieri.
I saw Paolo by chance or briefly at the supermarket yesterday. When vedere is followed by the clause che, meaning what or that, in this case it means to become aware of something, to learn a piece of information. For example,
Ho visto che ti sei laureata. Complimenti!
I saw that you graduated. Congrats! Vedere is also used with the meaning of visitare, to visit, as in to see places or monuments. For example,
Ieri ho visto I Musei Vaticani.
Yesterday I saw or visited the Vatican museums. Let's take a look at the conjugation of the verb vedere in the present tense.
Vedo, vedi, vede, vediamo, vedete, vedono.
Attenzione! In the passato prossimo tense, one of the most important past tenses in Italian, vedere has an irregular form, which is
Visto.
We call this the past participle. Here are some examples of the verb vedere.
Non vedo molto bene dall'occhio sinistro.
I can't see very well from my left eye.
Hai visto che Maria si è sposata?
Did you see that Maria got married?
Il primo giorno a Roma abbiamo visto il Colosseo.
On our first day in Rome, we saw the Colosseum. Let's take a look at some other meanings of vedere. The reflexive form of vedere is
Vedersi.
which can have different meanings. For instance, the literal meaning of to perceive oneself. For example,
Vedersi brutto. Bello.
to see oneself ugly or good looking. To see oneself in the sense of to picture oneself. For example,
Tra 10 anni mi vedo ricco e famoso.
in 10 years' time, I see myself being rich and famous. Or with a reciprocal value, to meet, as in,
Ci vediamo domani.
see you tomorrow. Now here are two common Italian idioms with the verb vedere. The first one is,
Occhio non vede, cuore non duole.
the literal translation is, eye doesn't see, heart doesn't hurt. Meaning, what the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve over. The second idiom is,
Il buongiorno si vede dal mattino.
literally, the good day is seen from the morning. But what you really mean is, you can tell a good day from the morning. Okay, let's take a look at the verb guardare, a verb of intention. While vedere refers to the perception of something, guardare refers to the intention, the act of turning one's gaze towards something or someone with attention. This translates to the English to watch or to look at, indicating a voluntary action. It is often accompanied by adverbs. For example,
Guardare attentamente.
to look carefully,
Guardare male.
to give a bad look. It is used in compound words too, indicating those assigned to custody or surveillance. For example,
Il guardalinee.
lineman, or objects with a protective function. For example,
il guardaroba,
wardrobe. The verb guardare also means to look after, to pay attention to something or someone. For example,
guarda il mio cane fino al mio ritorno.
look after my dog until I get back. Now, since the main element of guardare is the intention, it doesn't necessarily involve seeing, as in perceiving things with your eyes. Look at the following example.
Ho guardato ovunque, ma non ho visto il tuo portafoglio.
I looked everywhere, but I didn't see your wallet. Let's take a look at the conjugation of guardare in the present tense.
Guardo, guardi, guarda, guardiamo, guardate, guardano.
Unlike vedere, the past participle of guardare, which we need to form the past tense, is regular.
Guardato.
Here are some examples of guardare in context.
Ogni mattina guardo l'alba dalla finestra della mia mansarda.
Every morning I watch the sunrise from my attic window.
Guardami negli occhi.
Look me in the eyes.
Oggi in classe Luca mi ha guardato male. Cosa gli ho fatto?
Today in class, Luca gave me a bad look. What did I do to him? Now, since it refers to the visual sphere, the subject of guardare is in most cases a person. However, guardare can also have the meaning of to look out onto or to open to, referring to a place and its orientation according to a particular direction or landmark. Here's an example.
Il nostro albergo guarda sul fiume.
Our hotel looks out onto the river.
La stanza ha un balcone che guarda sulla città.
The room has a balcony that overlooks the city. We also have a reflexive form of guardare,
Guardarsi.
meaning to look at oneself. One of the most common expressions is
Guardarsi allo specchio.
looking at oneself in the mirror. If used with the preposition da, guardarsi also has another meaning, to look out for or to be aware of. The phrase
Guardarsi da qualcuno, qualcosa.
is often found with the word.
Bene.
Let's look at some examples.
Mi guardo bene dagli uomini troppo gentili.
I look out for men who are too nice.
Guardati da Lorenzo. Si comporta da amico, ma non lo è.
Beware of Lorenzo. He behaves like a friend, but he's not. Let's take a look at some idioms with guardare. The first one is
A caval donato non si guarda in bocca.
the literal translation is to a gifted horse you don't look in the mouth, meaning never look a gift horse in the mouth. The second one is
Bisogna guardare al di là delle apparenze.
literally one needs to look beyond appearances, meaning there is more to something or someone than meets the eye. Attenzione, there is an exception though. As precise as Italian grammar is, there may be occasions in real life where even native speakers don't always follow the rules. Now, there may also be contexts where words and phrases are interchangeable, and one option doesn't necessarily sound better than the other. With vedere and guardare, we have a similar case. Now, this is in fact a small exception to what we've just covered earlier. It is when we talk about movies or watching a film. Italians often use the verb vedere instead of guardare. For example,
Ho visto un film con Giovanna ieri.
I saw a movie with Giovanna yesterday. This, however, doesn't mean that Italians don't pay attention when watching movies. We use vedere because this action is focused more on the perception of what we're experiencing, the images, the sound, and so on, and on recognizing what we perceive through our senses. It may be a bit confusing, and the difference is really subtle here, but Italians use vedere more than they use guardare when talking about watching movies. Hai capito? Now you can test yourself by taking my free quiz. You'll find the link pinned below this video. Want to learn the most important Italian verbs? Make sure you join my 30-day Intrepid Italian Verbs Challenge. More details below this video. For more Italian lessons, don't miss this video and this video. A presto! Ciao!